I guess I'm live. Greetings, Warriors! I am so glad that last week we got a chance to get X Night. Again, I apologize for it being delayed today, but we had some technical difficulties with the video. Probably my fault because it was my first solo one in a while. But how did you guys enjoy it? I thoroughly loved both versions, okay? Now, pardon. Couple of the things I enjoyed about it, right? Like the X Night. I loved it when he was going into his trances in the warp hell, right? And I wasn't sure, right, whether that was like reality or not, you know? And one of the things that the boss posted in his post-mortem. We get so many cemetery things, I forget which one's what. But in post-mortem today, right, he talked, and I didn't notice it, but the X-Night live scenes were black and white, but the color scenes were when he was in Warp Hell. So, which is the reality, right? What's the reality? If, now I gotta think, right? It's like maybe Warp Hell's the reality, and then when he's X-Night, that's his imagination. I don't know. What did Dead Skull say? Dead Skull, another guy, right? He was breaking me up. I gotta get the seat right. I gotta be right in the center where my head's not in the dungeon. All right. And I thought, wow. So what is the reality, right? That was pretty cool. And then, you know, when you had the original, it was the different actors, right, from the preview, right, one that he did up until, pardon me, what became Warp Hell, right? Because the first one was the final cut, but it wasn't the final cut; it was the final cut preview, right? I don't know. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait till we get more X-Night stuff. And go to your favorite comic book shop, right, and look for the X-Night comics. I'm actually going to be calling my friend at the Comic Universe, which is in Delaware County, Delaware County's premier comic book store, and I'm going to tell them, like, hey, guys, you got to carry this, because this is an excellent, excellent comic series. And I read one not too long ago, and then when I was at the convention that I interviewed Jim Catanelli at, I was flipping through a couple. The artwork's amazing, and he does the writing and the artwork, which is something you don't normally see, right, for somebody, usually, like, and we said in the interview, right, when you have somebody who is doing your writing, he could be in San Francisco, and the guy doing the artwork could be in New York, right? So it's just kind of like it's amazing that you got the guy, right, who does both. There we go, right in the middle. That's perfect, right? So if you guys get a chance, right, go look for his comics, right? And then I hope you enjoyed the interview. There's actually a full hour, and I posted that on the Cemetery Cinema, all their pages, Instagram, Facebook, and I posted it on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X out there, right? Watch it. It's really interesting. If you want to know what's going through a lot of these guys' heads when they're making a movie, you'll find that out there. And I like the one guy, right? He actually walked outside his gym with his phone. He was the guy that played X-Night in Warp Hell, the feature. And he was out there. He's doing the interview. And then, you know, one of his buddies comes running by, is behind him, you know, photobombing it. That's how I could tell he's like a regular fella. He's not one of these Hollywood snobby heads. But anything that you see that has Jim Catanelli in it, please go see it. Right? Hell of an actor, and even better, hell of a person. Like when I called him up, or I texted him and said, hey, would you do an interview? He goes, sure. Do you want me to get my guys for the movie? I'm like, that would be great. Those kind of people are perfect when you're like a small-time movie host like me, right? And you call them up and they're like, they want to do it. that makes my life easier, right? He's promoting me, I'm promoting him, and everything is just like honky-dory. And Jim, you don't know how much I appreciate that you gathered the whole crew, all right, just so they could do this interview, right? And it's like funny. I told him it was my first interview I've done with a panel, so I'm like trying to get everybody involved, right? And then at one point, if you watch the interview, right, I'm talking to him, and then I go off on one of my tangents. Then I had to go, yeah, let me cut that. Yeah, I didn't cut it. I left it in there because I thought it was kind of hokey, and you guys know how I am. I just ramble. Hence what I'm doing right now. But this Friday, right, I'm hosting I'm Haunted 2, right? Like I talked before, the doc broke his leg. He's sitting at home taking it easy, right? Even though he's still babysitting his grandkids. I'm telling you, I don't know. He must drink 2 pots of coffee a day just to be able to stay up. Because when you break your leg, you're in a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? And he probably ain't sleeping. He's got the kids running around. But if I know him, right, the kids are taking care of him because he's a great grandfather, and his grandkids, from what I've seen, they're fantastic, man. This goes to show the quality of a man that, his family on the way down is they're all good people. So anyway, I'm hosting it myself again this week. I promise the audio will be better. I got this fancy schmancy microphone, right? I got it, and it's supposed to be. Ooh, there it is. It's supposed to be good, and it was kind of staticky. I thought I was talking through like a toilet paper tube. But and I have an hour-long interview with Miss Chamberlain, and I'm going to post that in the movie, and I'm going to break it up into 2 15-minute segments, and then for the second half, I'm going to post that when we do I'm Haunted 3, and I think we're doing that Memorial Day weekend, which will be perfect, Now, we have a boatload of things coming up. I was just going back and forth with the doc today. We're going to do our movies for the summer, and we're going to split it up because we have 8 movies between June, July, and August. And and in June and July we're going to have 2 and 2, mainly because we have some sports that they've picked up that are going to be on Friday nights. One of them is going to be the Delco League with Strathaven Panthers, right? Like we had last year. Great football. Oh, my God. And the one weekend that we had the first game, right, that was the highest rated thing I think that they've ever had on WON. I mean, it was amazing. Now, most of the people for that show were dialed in through their computer. And a couple of the bars in Delco actually dialed in through their Roku and broadcast the game. But it's just funny because when people are first watching us, they tend to watch on the computer. And now, right, the people that have been watching us for a while, they've migrated over to the Roku channel, which is fantastic. The sound's much better, right? Unless you can actually stream from your PC or your phone to the TV, right? You could do that. But watching the Roku, I mean, the sound's better, the picture's better, it's high def, right? And it's funny because a lot of the movies we get are not in high def. For example, Spider Baby. Like, watching that movie and then seeing the film cracks, come down through the screen every now and then, that's hysterical. I love that, But we have them split up, and then out of the 8 movies, I'm going to do 3 on my own. The doc's going to do 2, and then 5 of them we're going to do together, right? And we're going to talk about that when we get there. I forget the 2 that he wanted to pick up, but you know what I mean. You guys are going to have a great summer watching us on Friday nights, right? Friday after you're out on the beach all day, you come in the house and flop on the couch. What's a better thing to do than sit back and watch a good horror sci-fi flick with me, the Mad Darbarian, and the good Dr. Dread? All right? Now, we have an appearance coming up on May 17th called Bones Bazaar. Now, if you don't know who Bones is, his name is Bones Johnson, Jawnsson, because in Philly, John is like a word. And he's going to be hosting a convention in a place called Quakertown, and it's called Bones Bazaar, okay? And somebody's sending me a message. What? Okay, it works. All right. It's called Bones Bazaar, and it's in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, at the Quakertown Farmers Market. It's a pretty big room, which is cool, right? And the Doc and I will be there signing autographs. We're going to be selling some things. The Doc has literally 2 tubs of DVDs because to be selling stuff that I think he inherited, and he went through them, pulled out some good horror movies, but there is a ton of movies you can have for sale. And I'm gonna have some trinkets, right? Do I have it here? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm gonna be selling these trinkets. Right? It's me and Helga, right? It's a Christmas ornament. I have some single ones. I'm gonna have some pictures in case you guys want to get an autograph, things like that, And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my first appearance at a con where I'm not like a paid participant. I've had a couple of appearances before, and the one that I had was paid. Right? What it was I got free admission and I got 2 free beers, and it was fun. And and the first time that they wanted me to come, right? I couldn't make it. I had a death in the family, and there's some days that like I can't be funny, and so I didn't go. So the next year they were like, "Dude, you gotta come," So I did. Had a blast, right? When you go to these cons, it's great, We have another con coming up, and it's called Delco Day, and it's at a bar called PJ Dolan's in Ridley Park. And that bar was voted the most Delco bar in Delaware County, right? And it's a great place. It's run by this guy, PJ Dolan, right? And it's a bar that was his dad's bar. I think it might have been his grandfather's bar. It's a staple in Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, which is right off of 95. If you're coming down 95 past Philly, you'll see a big old sign that says Ridley Park to the right, Boeing to the left. Get off, come up, pop in. It's going to be a blast. And the guys from Delco Live, they're pretty much where I first started. I've been doing this bit for probably 30 years, right? But it was the first time that I got on the radio, and then people started recognizing me, and I started picking up more people on YouTube and all that. But anyway, Delco Day, June 6th. It's a Saturday, and it starts at 2 in the afternoon, goes to 2 in the morning. I'll be there probably from like 2 to 6 because it gets way too late. And trust me, there's a lot of people there, and everybody is having a good time. All right? And yeah, that's where we're at. I'm doing this live on my lunchtime, and yeah, I got to be getting back to work because my boss, she's a toughie. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, right? So, thank you very much for watching us on Saturday. Again, I'm sorry that we got put off a couple days or got put off a day, right? Due to the quality of the video, right? We fixed it. John the Boss is a master, right? If you get a chance, go watch his postmortem, right? It's the first one he's done in a while. Yeah, I'll talk to you on Friday. And don't forget, get a chance, right? Hit the Doc's YouTube channel. The Doc has a trailer park, and he has Swamp Theater, Murder Table Monday, Doc Dread reviews. I don't know. He's probably on One Life to Live in General Hospital too. All the things he's doing. Telling you, that's why we're splitting the things up for the summer, so he could have a little bit more time to do his stuff. You know what I'm saying? But here we are. So it's the Mad Darbarian for WONTV Brooklyn, and Cemetery Cinema with me, the Mad Darbarian, and Dr. Dread. I'm out. And hey, have a great Arbor Day. Go plant a tree or something. All right, how do I stop this?